We're going to take you out into the middle of the Fiordland National Park. We're going to show you some of the most pristine national park in the bottom southwest of New Zealand. So if you'd like to come aboard, we'll meet Marie and go for a little cruise. Hello again. We're in the middle of Lake Te Anau now. We're cruising into the start of the South Fiord shortly, but I thought it might be a nice time to tell you a little of the history of this vessel. She was built originally in Scotland in 1935 on the River Clyde. She was given her name Faith after the owner's wife at the time, so she's held this name all of her life. We know that the vessel was used for the first 4 years of her life privately and then was commandeered by the British government for use in World War II in the conflict. She was used on the River Clyde as a shuttle, as a ferry for soldiers and sailors to be moved from the river mouth out to the warships, and then after the war was given back to the original family. 1961 she was sold to Lord Shawcross, who was the chief prosecutor for the Nuremberg trials in Germany for Britain after World War II, and he had this vessel until 1979. Sold her to a Kiwi family, so the father and the mother and the daughter were the three that sailed her out to New Zealand across the Atlantic Ocean, through the Panama Canal, through the Pacific, and arrived eventually in Whangarei. On arrival, she was sold to an engineer who spent 15 years rebuilding her to bring her back to her original glory. And upon completion, he sold her to a number of people throughout New Zealand before we found her in 2014 in Picton. We purchased her, and over the next 2 years, after having brought her into Bluff and then road freighted from Bluff to Te Anau, was put into the lake here. We spent 2 years restoring her before she was ready to start cruising like we are with you today. Faith is built from Burmese teak. She's 66 feet long. She weighs 38 tonnes and is configured as a motor yacht. She's powered currently. The engine that you can hear is a Gardner 6L3, which weighs 7.5 tonnes on its own. So she's a pretty special vessel. So come with me, we'll cruise a little further up the fjord. I'll see you soon. So I thought I'd bring you downstairs to show you this beautiful dining room. One of the gentlemen that's been on board this vessel earlier on in her life was Sir Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain in the World War II conflict. Fascinating to think that he might have sat in any part of this area and at times entertained guests while on board. So I'll let you have a little look around. It's quite a special place to hang out. Isn't this beautiful? You've just sailed past Dome Island behind us. You've got Orchid Island over on the other side here. You can just see it behind the top of the rowboat, and you're looking right up the middle of the South Fiord now. So from here, about another 32 kilometres to the head of the fjord, you can see Mount Maury just hiding in the top of the cloud there, that snow-capped mountain. She's only half of the length of the fjord, to try and put it into perspective for you a little. Marie's bringing Faith around the corner here. We're going to head between the little island on the right, and we're going to go into Mussel Cove and then into the Hidden Lakes Cove. So in just a moment we'll pull you up on the wharf. We're going to disembark and take you for a bit of a walk into the first of the Hidden Lakes. Enjoy. Well, welcome to the Hidden Lakes Peninsula. We've just pulled up at the wharf here. We're surrounded by beech forest. We're right on the edge of the walkway here to the first of the Hidden Lakes. I'd love to take you for a wander, so come with me. We're going to take a walk into the national park. Welcome back. We've just arrived at the first of the signposts for this walkway. We're going to take a wander into the Hidden Lake. That's 15 minutes from here. But while we're walking, we're surrounded by beech forest for the most part. We've got some beautiful native orchids here. They come out as Easter orchids around March, April. But predominantly beech trees. We've got a scattering of rata. We've got lancewood in here. We've got rimu. We've got totara, meadow, ferns to keep you entertained all day long, and moss like you wouldn't believe. You can see all this green moss down beneath our feet here. This is the lifeblood of the national park. So we get an awful lot of rainfall here per year. We get about 2.5 metres in this particular part of the park. At the top of the fjord behind us, we get anywhere up to between 7 and 9 metres a year. So an incredible rainfall, but it's all captured by this moss. And the moss holds on to the water and moisture and delivers it to all the trees in times that we get a bit dry here. Have a feel of this. Beautiful. We've arrived at the first of 13 hidden lakes out here. So this is one of the largest. There's another 13 out to the southwest. You can see in the distance the very top of Mount Luxmore. We've got the Luxmore hut, the Kepler track walking on the ridgeline ahead of us. But a beautiful region to have a good look at. It's amazing to think that 18,000 years ago, when the glaciers carved and formed the South Fiord, there was 1,000 metres of ice riding over top of us right now. These lakes were formed when the glaciers rode giant spikes of ice down into the softer earth, and then when the glaciers retreated and melted, these 13 lakes have been left. So I'm going to give you a bit of time to absorb this on your own, enjoy the peace and quiet of being out here. See you soon. Welcome back. It's a pretty special place we've just come from, isn't it? You can see the sun setting out to the west there. It's been lovely to have you all on board with us. Thank you so much for coming along. It's been a real pleasure to be able to show you around the Fiordland National Park, and especially to show you a little of our vessel Faith. Hope you're having a lovely day. Certainly have enjoyed showing you around. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.